the judge, as I clearly pointed out, had given the defense access to those grand jury transcripts finally. That's what the order was on the 6th. Whenever the judge cites 1911, that's to deal with the grand jury. The defense has been after access to the grand jury transcripts, the full transcripts, this entire time. And he granted them access to it. John Judge would never do that. Well, there's been some things that have happened now since then. And today, the judge posted on the court docs an order sealing his order staying something. It can only be one thing. And as I go through the case summary and I apply the only thing it could be, it appears that the judge has stayed his ruling on the defense getting access to those grand jury transcripts.
I disagree, Pav. I don't think this has anything to do with that at all. Do I think this hold may have something to do with some grand jury transcripts in there somewhere? Yeah, possibly, because of citing the 1911. But Ann Taylor had the grand jury transcripts back in 2023. She's almost had them for 2 full years. I don't know if you slept through a whole lot of documents back in 2023 or what, but let me show you. So if you'll recall, they had a hearing in June of 2023 where Ann was asking for the grand jury transcripts. And on June 26, 2023, Judge ordered that they get those grand jury transcripts. So this was the order for preparation and release of the transcript of record of grand jury proceedings with conditions. So it started in the works in June of 2023. So then on June 27th, we had the stipulation for preparation and release of the transcript and record of a grand jury proceedings with conditions. Then on July 6th, we had an amended order for preparation and release of the transcript and record of grand jury proceedings with conditions. And it was just they had changed it because, remember, Ann Taylor had wanted some of her investigators to also have access. So it got amended so that more people could review the transcript. And then the very next day, on July 7th, 2023, there was an order for the county to pay the expenses of the transcribing of the grand jury transcript, because since Koberger was considered indigent and using a public defender, then the county should have to pay that. And then we know that the defense received the transcripts because on July 25th, Ann filed a motion to dismiss the indictment on grounds of error in grand jury instructions. And then on August 23rd, 2023, she also filed a motion to dismiss the indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct in withholding exculpatory evidence. Now, the only way Ann would have been able to file these things is if she had the grand jury transcripts. So we know for a fact she had them clear back in 2023. But we also know again she had them because she mentions them again in the Franks documentation in January of 2025. So right here, under the motion for the Franks hearing, you can see that there is the sealed transcript of the grand jury hearing, and that was submitted by the defense. That's one of their exhibits, or 2 of their exhibits, actually. So, no, that ruling had nothing to do with her getting access to the grand jury transcripts. She has had access since summer of 2023, so almost 2 years. So I'm not one to try to guess on these documents a lot of times because they're sealed, so we have no clue. So it's like a crapshoot. But I know it has nothing to do with grand jury transcripts just purely. There's obviously something dealing with the grand jury transcript in there because of 1911 being cited, but Ann Taylor already had all the grand jury transcripts from clear back in 2023. So it's not that. So it's something else that also includes something that included a grand jury transcript. But we will hopefully find out soon because I feel like Hippler is eventually going to unseal all these things. I know a lot of people think he's being a hypocrite by keeping something sealed still, but there's a reason. And he's doing what's best for everyone when he's making these decisions, even if it doesn't feel like it right now.